Wow. Dude, I actually didn't think I'd be making this video, man. I yeah, I didn't think I was gonna have to make this video. But I almost feel like sort of like it's forced, honestly, at this point, cuz like, you know, I feel like people need answers. Like, what the fuck happened? Um and honestly, I mean, there's a lot of shit that happens. I mean, I still haven't even rewatched the games, to be honest. I'm just going off pure just memory, honestly. But the team was fragmented before the series, massively fragmented. And like we tried to scrim had a minus, which we did. We dropped game one in the scrim, trying new heroes and trying shit out. Game two was just a regular stomp, which was fine. Uh, I think um, there was a lot of issues with this game. Firstly, going into it, I don't think my Panda and Sub were on the greatest of terms. I think they made up a little bit in the middle of the week, and then going into this, there was some argument being had over bans this week and shit like that. And I don't think they wanted to play together. So I knew that going into the series, right? We hop into the series. We get Lena first pick, and I know that Rubik Centaur lane is just something I don't want to play against. I don't want to lane into. I think I would have been fine if I played Lena. I was just scared I actually would just get telekinesis dropped back into stomp and just dead every single time. Um, and I mean that's sort of what happened to my silencer when he just walked up into lane every single time. He would just get sort of shit on, honestly. But uh, I honestly have to say, Penza Princess are probably the strongest offlane I faced this year. And I don't even really feel like I was pressed that hard. I mean, maybe I was pressed. Like, we lost both lanes, I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Oh, we drew? Interesting. Okay, well, I felt like we lost both lanes, but I don't feel like I was, like just shit on. Um, But they are very good players, Pinza and Princess, and they draft for very strong lanes as well. Like they just don't lose that lane ever. So going into that, we sort of knew Hexy played his ass off as well. I think Panda Hexy was like a pretty good mid matchup. I think it went 1-1. Panda won mid, and then he drew the second lane too. Yeah, so like it was a great matchup. I think those two players are going to see each other again later on this season. But let's just get back to the team shit, man. The team drama. I'm not really here to go through the series. I just sort of have that as like a screen cap because I look dusty right now. I can't lie to you. But honestly, man, like it's hard to even explain. Like I feel like the team was so mentally fragmented this week. I don't know what really went down. I don't know what happened. I think Panda came into this week sort of, I mean, like sort of like nonchalant, you know. Uh, Sub came in this week nonchalant as well, um, and I think this series sort of showed me that all his offlane pool is not as big as I thought. Uh, in my honest opinion, I think Night Stalker is like his best hero by far, and then when that's banned, it goes sort of down, which is fine. He's not an offlane player. Like he literally had to switch roles coming into it, and we knew that, you know. So we are trying to just coast until playoffs to make sure he could like learn the role. Uh, he had great games on Magnus. I mean, he had a great lane on Magnus. He was farmed. Yeah, he had a great lane on Magnus. I think our plan was just to play really fast, and I was gonna get Deso with Empower like by like 15, 12 minutes, and we were just gonna run at them with BKB at 20 minutes. Obviously, if you look at my item build, that did not happen. Mag did not max in power, which is fine. I mean, I feel like you just go like 2 points in shockwave, one in skewer, and then you just max in power if you have a PA. But what do I know? I'm not a Magnus player. But yeah, no, I think it got rough, and then if you go through our shout out to Juke, if you go through our game and go through our comms, dude, there's a time I'll have to pause the game and just scream at these guys because they're literally arguing in comms like I can't even think. And not to say excuses, dude. Collateral Damage is a great team. Am I scared of them to place them again? Not really, to be honest. I think at the end of the day, they're a great team. I don't really give a fuck where NoHoes is in the rankings after this week. To be honest, at this point, we've proven ourselves as a top 5 team. Where anything outside of that, I feel like that's blasphemy. I feel like until anyone takes the game off Battle Buddies, I don't think we're outside the top 5. But Cloud Damage Battle Buddies should be a very good game. I'm actually very hyped for that game. I'm going to try to reset our game, RB&B. That should be a quick 2-0. R&B. Yeah, R&B. That should be a pretty slight 2-0. And then we'll get to watch some great Dota after that. Cloud Damage Battle Buddies should be great. I mean, Battle Buddies just smashed the fuck out of Savage Sabers. I mean, they looked abyss. They just looked abyss, and that's your actual roster, and no one tilts on your team. You just looked abyss. You just got absolutely smacked. You know. And I didn't want to really address the sub leaving thing in this video or like ever. To be honest, I feel like he sort of got his video done. Honestly, last time he left, but I'll address it a little bit. Sub's a great guy. I think he definitely has like I would say a little bit of an ego on him for sure. I think most Dota players do though, so I don't think that's crazy. I think he definitely does tilt a little bit and doesn't really listen to anyone about anything. I think that was like a major issue, which was fine because he was playing his ass off for the first 3 weeks, and then when it got to like the point where like Night Stalker's getting banned, bro, like we sort of gotta like lend our advice around the whole team. Sub would sort of listen to me, but he wouldn't really listen to me, and then Sub obviously wouldn't listen to Juke or Scully or Panda at all. You'd always argue with Panda. So it's honestly just like, bro, at this point, you're a detriment to the team. And it really showed this week if you look at our comms. Like, as the offlaner, and I feel like in a role in offlane, you can't be farm dependent. Like, you can't, like, he's sort of got to make a play. And if you can't make a play on an offlane hero, then, I mean, like, And not to say he played bad at all. I think Rubik lifted him like 2 or 3 times with Blink, trying to Blink skewer in, and after that it was rough. So, what can you do? They had a hell of a draft as well. They insta-lock drafts a lot. Like, they sort of knew what they wanted against us, and they got those heroes. And, yeah. I think next week we do come back stronger. I think once we find a pause 3, we come back stronger as well. Looking for a pause 3, by the way, Archon 3 or below for the rest of the season. But yeah, I just wanted to address this week, honestly, in a short video, sort of like a reflection. That this is not the last. Like this is definitely not the peak of NoHoes, honestly. Do I think there's an over under on the sub leaving this time? I think. Well, if I'm being honest, and I think I told Sub this. I was like, I think this is your last chance. I think not a lot of captains want you on their teams just because your personality and what precedes you. But like, this is your chance to win. You know what I mean? I feel like this is your chance to win. You just sort of have to listen, not be toxic. And there's zero reason to really be frying other teams in chat. Like, you haven't proved anything. So. When we came back the second time, I was like, yo, you got to be PMA. You got to want to learn. You got to want to grind. You got to want to put your head down. And he agreed to all of that. And then it sort of fragmented after, a week. But no, I still got a lot of love for the guy, man. I think he's, I think deep down he's a great person and a great Dota player. I just think there's, he's stubborn. It's a trait, man. It's a trait to have. He's stubborn. I know I think I'm a little stubborn as well. Like, I see a lot of young Rhino in sub, so that's why every time I make a team, I always ask him what he's doing, uh, to see if I can maybe get him a chip. I enjoy him on my teams. I don't think he's a detriment to the team, but obviously this week, and on our team further, he was a massive detriment. Um, and Dota is as we all know, if you're watching this video, Dota's it takes a lot out of you, a lot of brain power to play this game at a high level, especially in a competitive environment in a game like this. And your mid and your off lane just arguing in comms for 50 minutes is probably the last thing you want to hear. You know what I mean? You can't call shots, can't think, can't do really anything. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think the last thing I have to address is the Hexy all chat or collateral damage all chatting us. We didn't go in the series all chatting. I don't think. But when you have players on your team that talk shits, and I don't think Hexy never said words to me. So I still have a great relationship with Hexy. I still fuck with him as a player and as a friend as well. We were on the team for a while there, so I sort of came into it sort of knowing that that's what Hexy wanted to do. Told the boys, let's try to ignore it. You know what I mean? Like if I'm in sub shoes and I'm talking shit in Discord chat that much, I sort of have to expect that they're gonna fry me everywhere I go, because that respect's not gained. You know what I mean? And I feel like possibly the influence I may have had on sub, how I like to handle things and sort of talk shit that sort of can be backed. You know what I mean? Like I've sort of backed my shit talk by now. You know what I mean? I didn't before I had 2 chips. I wasn't really talking in Discord, to be honest. And I feel like I earned that shit. So he may have a target on his back, but I only wish him the best, man. I only wish him the best. I'd love to see him back in A12 with his own team. I think that would be interesting to see, content wise. But I didn't report actually. Dobbs can vouch. I off the record, off the ticket shit. I didn't really give a fuck about all chat, to be real. I don't give a fuck about all chat. That's always been my stance. Even that's always been my stance. I have to stay with that stance, whether it's me getting all chatted or my team all chatting. I have to stay with that stance, and I truly believe that. So, nohoes will not be looking for punishment for collateral damage at all as a team. So, yeah, I don't think they should be punished at all. So, let them do what they need to do and move on to next week. And yeah, I think, we sort of have to 2-0 next week, so it's on that. We have to 2-0, and if we won one, it's gonna go down to the wire. So, yeah, just going into next week, head on straight, looking for a pause 3, new team revamp. You know what I mean? And yeah, the video, a couple of you guys messaged me. There was a video I put out that I didn't put in 8012 chat. And I had to cancel that video because it was wrong timing. Honestly, I think the timing of that video was wrong. So I'm keeping that on the back burner for another day when I'm low on content. But I'll put it out, with a date so you guys know when I recorded it and how I was feeling. Maybe like a lost logs type shit. So, yeah, that's it, man. 14-minute video, just sort of ranting on what to expect from nohoes coming soon. And yeah, well, we're back. We're still a great team, in my opinion. I think honestly the role swap is still fine. I think I have a lot of work to do. That's about it. I think I simply have a lot of work to do as a carry. I think I can be the best carry in the league, but I have a lot of work to do. And yeah, it's just simple as that. I have a lot of work to do. I feel like I play like ass. Not really much else to say. I played like ass. I should have took the Lena. I just played like ass. Simple. Hey, it happens. Play like ass. As long as it's not in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just played like ass. I didn't show up at either. You know, I came in the week nonchalant as well. I wasn't really too worried. Um, can't do that ever. So yeah, coming back focused, prepared next week, and ready to fucking win. Um, and as Gambit said in content, man, if no hose gets 2-0'd, just wait for next week. You know what I mean? Just wait for next week. We got some shit in the back burner. And yeah, and it's sort of like a realization as well. A realization point hit when we lost. Not only for Sub, but for me, for Panda, for Juke, for Scully. A realization point hit where like, yo, this is real. You can lose. These teams aren't here to just get beaten by you. They're not gonna roll over. So, yeah. Finally, some fucking replays to watch that aren't stomps, and we'll come back from this, stronger in my opinion. But to Sub, man, later, bro. I still fuck with you. My DMs are always open. You're still on my friends list, but sorry the team shit didn't work out. And yeah, man. I'm excited. Here we go. Here's the fucking ride, baby. Let's strap in.